What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a very late edition of the Daily Juice podcast here on a Saturday. My name is Matt Perrault. How are you guys? You guys can follow me on socials at Sports Talk Matt. Hey, so let me update you guys a little bit as to what happened yesterday. I'm not going to give you my full medical history, but some of you guys remember a couple of years ago that I wound up in the hospital for 3 days. It was one of the only other times I didn't do the Daily Juice. Well, yesterday I went to go play an absolutely gorgeous golf course. Cascada here in Vegas is awesome. I'm 47 years old, and for you young people, you're not going to understand when your body goes. I'm an athlete. I work out 4 to 5 times a week. I have been dedicated for the last 7 years to improving my health in every which way, but the body has a trick up its sleeve, and that is a back. And if you have a bad back, which I have had for pretty much my whole life, I've had a bad back, it goes at really weird times. And I ended up pushing it yesterday to the point where the pain was so great that I passed out. Not kidding you. While driving a golf cart off the first tee. So I tried to barrel through it. I tried to tough man and be, I'm not going to miss this golf course and I'm going to try to do it. And I went up there on the first tee and I grabbed my driver and said, all right, let's just see what it's going to feel like if I swing hard. And I swung hard and everything went downhill from there. So I've been literally on my back. This is one of the first times I've been upright taping this. So excuse the quickness of this podcast because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay upright. I'm going to try to come back down here and tape for tomorrow like I normally do, but there's a chance that Sunday's podcast will equally be taped on like this Sunday morning to come out. I will try to get the bets out as quickly as I can, but I've got bets on 3 NFL games. All of them kick off at night, so you have plenty of time to bet these if you want to trail these bets or fade these bets. And then I do have a play for Team USA that tips off here in about, I think, 3 hours. So it's a bonus play if you want. If you want Team USA, I'll give it to you. I'll put it on the official card because it's as an apology for us with that. So good news is I'm okay. The bad news is that everyone in my life is completely freaked out, and it was really scary for a while. So I was driving a golf cart and I passed out. That's a scary situation. My friends from Omaha were in town. I hadn't seen them for a long period of time. Not the memory I was hoping for with my friends. I was hoping to have a really cool golf day. We were off my other show, so I thought we were going to have a really fun day. And I wound up in back of an ambulance and didn't go to the hospital. Luckily, it was fine. But we got to get some stuff taken care of here for me over the next couple of days. So not a great night, but podcast. I'm here. I'm up. I'm on pain meds, so that's how I can sit here and tape and get you guys the juice. Okay, here are the plays. I'm not going to overthink Team USA here. As I mentioned, for both Team USA, for the women and the men, I thought their semifinal games were going to be the most difficult. Team USA, we missed that bet yesterday. The women won and covered by 21. We took 17 points. And I think Team USA, the women tomorrow, will absolutely roll and win big. I think the same thing happens for Team USA. They took on Serbia. They got a huge scare out of Serbia, and they were able to rally in the second half. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the first half outside of Steph Curry, who played really well and saved Team USA's bacon. I have no idea what Steve Kerr is doing with his rotation. I think he's been manipulative. I think he's been lying, for a better term, about the way he's used his rotation. And his use of Jason Tatum is a gigantic story, and I'm sorry if you don't like that in the media. It should be a gigantic story because it's embarrassing when your team is struggling from three-point defense and scoring, and you have a guy who's 6'11", who can defend the three and score, and you keep him on the bench. For what reason? He didn't play Jason Tatum against Serbia. Why? Because the game plan didn't fit him? That might be the dumbest thing I've heard in a really long time. I mean, Steve Kerr's won multiple championships. You can't adjust on the fly. You can't use a player in a unique way. So I don't know if Jason Tatum plays here. The last time Kerr got blasted, Tatum started. So I don't know if he's going to start him against France or what, but I just don't think France has, other than Wembanyama's length, I don't think they have enough here to handle Team USA. I laid the 16.5 points. Team USA to win the gold medal going away in just rout fashion. I don't think this game is going to be close. Team USA first half. Team USA team total over. You can bet them all. I think they're all good there, but officially I'm taking Team USA to cover the 16.5 points. Team USA 1.1 units down to win gold and laying the 16.5 points. Okay, to the NFL. Let's start with the Buccaneers and the Bengals. Bengals at home. I told you guys I'm going to chase steam here, and this is one of the biggest steamed games of the entire preseason week 1 so far. We've got a number that opened up with Cincinnati -2.5. It's now Cincy -6. Why? Well, the Bucs probably aren't going to play anybody here, and the Bengals are at home. The Bengals have an offense that I like even without Jamar Chase playing in this game, even without Joe Burrow playing in this game. I think we're going to see this offense do some big things here. I like the backups for Cincy more than the backups for Tampa. Tampa's on the road. We saw it, what happened in the game for the Patriots. It's just not important for these road teams and for these teams at home. They want to get a win here in week 1. You only have 3 weeks to really evaluate, so you want to get some of these guys some game reps to feel like what's going to happen, how it's going to go. I think the Bengals are a team that just have a greater depth of talent over the Bucs do. And I think with what's been going on with the Buccaneers internally as to how they're going to play and what they're going to look like this year, I think there's more battles for positions going on with the Bengals. I'll lay under a touchdown here. Cincinnati, -6 for 1.1 units. Bet number 2, the Saints against the Cardinals. The Saints have got a lot of banged up players that may force some starters to play. But I like Spencer Rattler here. I like what the backups for the for the Saints could look like against the Cardinals. This is a team at home, but again, this is a steam move. Opened up with the Cardinals -1.5. It's currently now the Saints -3. I don't want to go over 3, okay? Don't lay more than a field goal. And we got burned with a field goal in the Ravens game last time out because the Ravens gave up a drive to the Eagles and they kicked a game-winning kick. But I just think we have an opportunity here to watch some of the younger players for the Saints get after it. And I think there's some interesting battles. Marquez Callaway in this, Spencer Rattler in this. I think the offense is there. I don't like the fact that the Cardinals don't have a ton of talent on that offense outside of the starters. And there's some great, we might see Marvin Harrison play a little bit, but he's not going to play a lot. That would be stunning. Or we're not going to see Kyler Murray play in this game. So I think there's a reason why the steam came on the Saints. I think it's the right side. Saints -3 for 1.1 units. And finally, I'm going to talk about a total here. The Seattle Seahawks and the LA Chargers. Again, steam to the under. Every bet in every game is on the under. The under opened up 4-0 here, okay? So everyone's coming in here on the under. But if you watch steam today, we're going over in San Francisco and Tennessee. We're going over in Green Bay and Cleveland. We're going over for Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. Jacksonville and Kansas City, we're going over. That number is all the way up to 40.5, okay? So the professional gamblers do not agree with the public here about betting unders. Just FYI, if you're going to come in here and bet unders today, be very careful because unders right now from a pro move perspective, and remember, the line moves with respected money, not public money. The line is moving to the over on pros. In preseason, I've told you guys this before, I tend to more heavily lean on steam and professional moves than I do the public because most people in the public are afraid to bet on preseason. And since they are afraid, they tend to dabble, they dip their toes in, they don't bet heavy or if they don't bet at all, and the public stays away. The pros do not. The pros go heavy. However, I do think there is one game that I do like to the under, and it's been steamed to the under, and that's Seattle and the Chargers. I don't think we're going to see a lot of either team's offenses here. And given Jim Harbaugh's return to the NFL, I think he's going to stress defense. I think we're going to see teams. I just don't think we're going to see a ton of offense on either side here for either team. And I think you got Seattle, who are trying to figure out their backup quarterback position. Their starters most likely are not going to play here in this game. I think you're going to see a lot of backups, and I'm not in love with the backups for the Seattle Seahawks offensively. I'm not in love with the Chargers. I mean, a lot of people, the Chargers are such a heavily bet game. Everyone liking the Chargers to have a great year, bet they're over, here they come. I don't know. I'm shying away from this, to be quite honest. I'm not in love with it. I think the Seahawks have a chance to win this game. I lean towards Seattle to win the game. But I think just for today, I think you can play the under. I don't think we see a ton of offense here today. I think we're going to go under 30. I paid 37.5, right? What did I play? Yeah, 34.5. Opened up at 36.5. Now down to 34.5. We're going to bet under 34.5 for Seattle and the Chargers. This could be the most boring game of the day. I mean, I think this is just going to be a really boring game and not a lot of offense going on here. So I do like the under in this game. Overs in the other games. I mean, every other game on the board. Yeah. So as I'm taping this, Chicago and the Bills are about to kick off here in 30 minutes. That game is steamed to the over. Vegas and the Raiders, that game is steamed to the over in a huge way. 34.5 up to 40 in that game. Green Bay and Cleveland, 36.5 open, now 39.5. San Francisco, Tennessee, 37 up to 38.5. Jacksonville, Kansas City, 37.5 open, up to 40.5. Tampa Bay and Cincy, 36.5 up to 38.5 and climbing. And New Orleans and Arizona, 36 now up to 38. Everyone's betting the under. Be really careful, guys. I'm not saying these games are going over just because the steam is there. I'm just saying be careful if you're just blindly betting unders because unders went 4-0 in the first 4 games. And so that means everything's going to happen with the under. Not necessarily the case, okay? But I do like Seattle and the Chargers to go under. I am following steam on that play to the under at 34.5. Okay, so 4 bets for us here to us today on a Saturday. Again, I apologize for being late. We're going Bengals -6, Saints -3, Seattle Chargers under 34.5, and Team USA laying 16.5 in the gold medal game here today in the Olympics for Team USA men's basketball. My name is Matt Perrault. I apologize for having Saturday out so late. Hopefully Sunday overnight I'll be able to tape it and get it out, but it might be Sunday morning when I tape it for tomorrow until I get this back situation under control. Appreciate you guys, really. Thank you for the well wishes and the worries. Apologize for the late podcast being out, but every day, at some point, the Daily Juice will be out from BettingPros.com.